Oh, can we blow out that candle because it's already hot in here?
What do you think a candle's gonna do?
It adds heat.
It's a candle. It's a candle.
It's 3 fires.
This is podcast conversation.
You're right.
That we're
Gosh,
having.
dang it. Well, it's a good thing we're recording. This can literally be spliced in.
Small fire.
Can be literally spliced in right in.
It's 3 small fires.
Okay, I'll reason with you.
Just one. Just blow out one.
But then it's gonna burn unevenly.
Yeah, don't do that. I have OCD. No, blow. Get it. No. Say that. You can't say that on the internet. Say that.
It just sounds so dorky. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's the podcast you've all been waiting for, but you never knew existed. Welcome to the Danger Toast Podcast with your hosts, Dan the Small,
And Tyler the Tall.
but also the Ginger.
What? Oh, okay. So you get to be 2 things?
I couldn't think of anything creative for you. All I knew is you're short. I could have called you Dan the Fat. Would you like that one better?
It's a second thing about me.
But it's rude.
I mean, I can have weight, but I still have a soul. Yeah, that's right. Shut him right up.
So before we started this, I was sitting here and y'all were talking about vaping and stuff like that, and if it was rude to do it in front of people. So I literally remember when we used to hang out all the time.
Yeah.
I remember the smell of your vape juice.
Yeah.
That when we'd be playing Xbox, you would make the sound and it would trigger something in my brain to literally I would start smelling your vape.
Okay, so funny story about that. I started vaping back before vaping was a thing. They had the e-cigarettes, and you would only be able to get them by ordering them online. My buddy, who was younger than me, keep in mind, I was like 17. My buddy, who was younger than me, he was like 16, ordered some online. They didn't even check, and they just sent it to him. I don't know how he even got it past his parents. Like, they got all the packages at a P.O. box. I guess they really trusted him, which was stupid. But he tried it for like a day, and he's like, I don't really like it. Here you go. And anytime I play Halo 3, I can literally taste those flavors because they were so good.
Yeah, it just triggers a thing in your brain.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the weirdest thing.
Yeah.
And
forget
you
what that's
literally
called.
have to be like, and then I would start to smell it, and it's so wild to me that we're miles away from each other, and I can just smell your. It was a wild time.
That's how big of hits I take.
I don't condone vaping, so
Okay. Well, thanks. Great time to tell me.
yeah, I know, right? Behind the camera, we have my wife Rachel.
Yep. And my lady love, Erica. You guys want to say hi?
Hi.
That's Rachel.
Hello.
That's Erica.
That's Erica. Erica's the one you've already been hearing.
Rachel's a lot more quiet.
A lot more quiet. My wife's not a sociable person.
Wow.
I used to be, she'll tell you if you talk to her. So I used to be the quiet one growing up. I never used to be a big talker. And then,
I'm not good at talk.
right. Obviously, I can't even get my words to come out of my face holes. Anyway, so when I started my job,
Which
it
one?
opened me up. This is when I used to work at
Okay.
Menards. But it opened me
Menards.
up. And so then when I met Rachel, who had to do all the talking in the relationship or in life? Me. But it's okay.
Yeah.
I like talking now. I'm a talker. Sometimes it's hard for you to give me a shut up.
That's a good thing for a podcast.
Who talks more, me or you?
Depends.
I know.
Depends on what we're talking about.
I know.
Well,
So who? But if we had to toss it up, who talks more? Or who's more? Actually, I think I win because I'm more sociable. Because
You are way more sociable.
Yeah, I can talk to any stranger and
I'm an
just
introvert.
be fine.
Especially in a crowd, she could talk to more strangers.
I can't talk to anybody in the
Because
crowd.
she's a lot taller than you.
That's true.
So quick with the that's true.
I mean, it is true, but I'm trying to put 2 and 2 together. How tall equals talking to strangers.
I'm saying especially in a crowd.
What?
Because you be talking to everybody's knees in a crowd of people.
Oh,
like when you
okay.
go to a concert, you're on her shoulders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'd crush her, but
Calling your girlfriend weak?
I'm calling myself fat, which you already did.
You're not fat at all.
It's all right. I'm short and fat. He's tall and fat.
That is true.
Yeah.
But look who got made fun of though at the whatever we went to.
Him, but it's just because I'm scarier.
So to clarify,
No.
we went.
What?
We. I just love her. No. Immediately mutes the mic so you can't hear her again. She just chimes in. So we were at. I call them thriller rides because they're not really haunted. They're thriller rides. There's no ghosts. There's no.
There was also no hay.
That's true.
By the way, we're talking about what was advertised as a hay ride.
Yeah. They're called haunted hay rides, but they're really just thriller rides. There's no ghosts or anything like that, obviously, and it's hard. But
It would be very hard to get a real
it's
ghost.
mostly just a failed attempt to try to scare people and to scam you out of $30. But
I think the hay ride was like 15.
okay, well, the whole event that we went to was 30.
Yeah, for 5 events.
4.
4
You
events.
just got yelled at from behind the camera.
That was all 3 of you in unison.
It was unison.
My bad.
I wish the microphone was on. So that you can hear them at the same time you hear me say it. But it's really funny.
We'll
but
eventually
anyway, we were
get
on
them
the
on mic. They don't have to turn off.
we were on the hayride, and some of the actors said I look like a nerd because I wear glasses. And then they said,
It's
"Oh,
true.
look at his cute little chubby cheeks." That was just the one time.
Right.
The next time is, I don't know if you remember, when we went through the last event, like the last part of it, when they told us to get on our knees and go down through the tunnel.
Oh, yeah.
So Rachel told me afterward, because she came in behind me, the actors said, it's really nice that you and the other girl have really thick boyfriend or men.
It's true.
Something along the lines.
She did.
Something along the lines of lucky girls or something like that.
Well.
And then Rachel proceeds to slap me in the butt like, "Oh yeah, we do."
She was a chubby chaser.
I didn't hear that at all.
She was a chubby
Yeah.
chasing vampire, which would be a really good
Because it
band
was a
name.
female. It was a woman, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I was the
Yeah.
last one through the line. That's why I heard it.
And
'Cause I
then
scraped my dang back on that.
on at the same time, there was the one where it was like the body parts or whatever, and they were like, it was like whatever, they were harvesting human butt parts. And they're like,
Body human butt parts?
no, they were just harvesting body parts.
Harving.
Harvesting, sorry. Butchering, that's the word. Good night. Butchering body parts. They said, "Oh, we'll get a lot of meat off this one." The sad part is we were standing next to each other. So and they were still talking to me.
But you're taller.
right.
You naturally
they
have.
just look over you. Like that's the part that's like,
true.
ugh.
Well, again. So the one guy on the haunted hayride,
Thriller hayride. It wasn't haunted.
AKA thriller bench ride, because there was no hay. It was just
Yeah, it was a
benches. So he was messing with you, the guy with one arm.
Oh,
could've-
I realized he had one arm afterwards. After I made fun of him for being creepy.
I mean, he's working at a haunted house.
Yeah, I know.
So, I mean, if you call him creepy, that's a compliment. But I almost mentioned the fact that he had one arm. And I was like, wow, that prop looks really good. And then I realized before I said it, the dude literally has one arm.
Somehow they figured
It
out.
was half an arm.
Somehow
It was
they
like
figured
here.
out how to green screen in real time. Like they just like totally blinded us by just
Yep.
like, having a green screen fake
Well,
arm.
no, because it
It
ended
had
right
a metal
here.
piece on the end.
No, it had a bloody thing with a bone sticking out. It was fake, but it looked really good. Like it looked like he literally just lost it.
Wait, but his arm was still missing, right? Like
Yeah,
it was legit
well,
gone. Oh,
from
okay.
there. Yeah.
I just want to make sure. 'Cause-
But anyway, so you or Erica pointed out that he had an Assassin's Creed tattoo.
Yep.
And I called you a nerd, and then he came over and got in my face.
He got your face.
And he's
What
like,
did
"What'd you
you
say?"
say?
I'm like, "I said you're a nerd," which isn't even what I said or even meant to say. I meant to say, I said he's a nerd, but I called him a nerd, and he sat there and stared at me for like a solid, 5 or 10 seconds. He's like, "That's mean." Well, he didn't even say it in character. He's just like, "That's mean," and walked away.
And then you
I
had
felt
these
so bad.
these kids jumped on the hayride. There were one of the actors. There were two kids, literally probably 13 years old,
Probably.
and they weren't really wearing any makeup.
No.
or anything relatively scary.
They were just dressed like 90s like white thugs from TV shows.
Like
Or from, like-
what are the mafia guys that wear, I'm gonna get so much hate for not knowing their names. It was an old show. They were
They were wearing beanies.
No, hold on. The fedoras with the sunglasses, and they wore the suits, and they always got in a car. It was
A human who always gets in a
Blues
car?
Brothers. The Blues Brothers. The
Okay.
one kid would look just like one of the Blues Brothers. The other one was wearing a beanie.
He did?
Yeah, he had the fedora.
I thought they both just kind of looked like, or whatever they're called.
Well, either way, they
Jiggables?
weren't scary. They were just
Jelly-
literally
Juggalos.
Juggalos, jelly rolls, juggalos, whatever they're
They
called.
were literally just walking up to people and screaming in their face. I'm
Yeah.
sitting there like, come on, this is not scary whatsoever.
Well, and then Erica says, "Oh, Children of the Corn. I get it."
What?
Says it really
Yeah.
loud, and he turns around and says, "Who said that?" And I'm waiting for her to take credit. She doesn't, so I say, "I did."
And then he turns around and says, shut up, and walks off the off the
Why would I
trailer.
take credit when there's so many other women around me that it could have been them?
Because it's funnier. I like.
Listen, the one
Listen, the last time Tyler and I went to that haunted place, I kissed a guy.
That's
Maybe I
okay.
should give
Tyler
more
got
context.
kissed last
Put
time
the-
he was there.
I did get kissed while I was there. But
That's
let's
true. He did get
go
kissed
into
in the ear.
You got to go into context now because you didn't. You
I
didn't
kissed him.
kiss a guy. Well, you did, but like,
He was a man, and I kissed him.
but not. You got to explain.
Okay. So when you're waiting in line, we were waiting for it to open, and we were there early. When you're waiting in line, they have people who like jump through the lines and like come up behind you and scare you.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, it's not scary because I'm not a 1-year-old girl. But so this guy kept coming up, but I kept just kind of messing with him. The one time he came up, and he's just like this real tall, fat guy, and he just is sitting there staring at me the whole time. We get right in my face. And so the one time I'm like, man, you smell really good. Because he actually did. He smelled like lilacs,
Yeah.
which was interesting. So he smelled super good. So that time he walked away eventually. And then he comes back for like the third or fourth time, and he's just destined to like freak me out. And I just leaned in, rest my head on his shoulder. I snuck under his arm. I just cuddled up next to him, and he just looked down at me, and I had to tippy toe, but I got up and I kissed him right on the cheek.
And then he just walks away. I don't think
He
came
just
back
walked
again.
away. He never came
He
back.
never came back again. So at the same time, I was being made fun of for being fat
Yeah.
and a nerd.
Yeah.
I also
Both true.
2 of the actors flirted with me the whole time. So on the
men or the
hayride,
women?
yeah. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, they were both women. So there was one girl on the hayride. She comes up to me, and Rachel's sitting right next, and she's like, "Oh, I just want to pinch your cheek so bad."
Can you stop abbreviating your sentences?
What do you mean?
Rachel was sitting right next.
Oh,
like
I'm
you're
sorry.
like a 13-year-old girl. She was
Rachel.
right up in my grill.
So Rachel was sitting right next to me, and
There you go.
this girl comes between us. Not really, but she comes up real close, and she goes, "Can I pinch your cheeks?"
Yeah.
And then I said, "Yeah, just go ahead and do it." And the guy that was with her said, "I'm sorry, we're not allowed." I was like, "Dude, you just broke character. I know you're not allowed to actually touch me." And then the
Yeah.
other time was there's a girl, she climbed up on the fence.
Yeah.
And she like got real close to whisper in my ear. And I am almost certain that she like started to fall forward off of the little fence gate thing that she was standing on. And I just felt her breath on my ear. And then it gets a little peck on my earlobe.
Ugh.
She just used her lips to keep herself propped up, I guess. I straight thought she was going to fall behind me. I thought I was going to have to turn around and help the actor up.
I had a thought earlier that I wanted to say.
All right.
And you know me, it'll escape before I say it.
At
So-
this stage of the game, we just need to get her own chair.
She has her
Join
own
us
chair.
in the middle.
Oh.
No. Oh, and I can back off too.
No.
No, I'm just giving you a hard time.
Oh, okay.
Listen, it's comedy. We're supposed
I
to be
know,
funny. I
Tyler,
want to make fun of everybody.
But I've only known you for like 3, 4. How many
That's
times
the
have I met?
best part.
I know.
You're talking too quiet. Too far away from the mic.
Okay, so you know what I had a thought after the horror place we went to?
Horror. Yeah.
That's what I
Thriller.
said,
It
horror.
wasn't a horror.
You said horror.
I said horror.
Okay.
Hard
That was
R,
the
miss.
first place that you and I have been to that's like a lot of people that
Yeah.
have yet to rag on my height and your height.
It's true.
I did it first day I met.
The first day you met me?
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go, abbreviating your sentences again. Are you Kevin from The Office?
No, Oh, are we gonna go on this track? Listen, my spirit animal. I will have to pull up the photos. I have photos. So a buddy of mine, we sat down and we AI swapped my face onto Dwight Schrute.
Yeah.
I literally look like Dwight's little brother.
Yeah.
On top of that, we also AI swapped my face onto Kevin.
Yeah.
It's like God created a perfect angel. My face on Kevin
Yeah.
is a beautiful thing.
Well,
I will have to get those pictures so that way we could pull them up one day and we could just show them.
I don't know if I never face swapped with anything or anybody. I think I would work with Michael maybe,
Maybe, yeah, you probably. Yeah, you probably work very well.
except for I have to shave my beard.
Hey, wouldn't it be Michael with a beard?
No, because it doesn't swap the entire head. So it would just be like I would have a Joe.
No, because
It would be the Joe King or whatever. What was his name? The Tiger King? Not the Lion King.
the Lion King.
Joe Cool? No, that's the camel. Joe Exotic. I would have the Joe Exotic mustache.
Well, no, because when Luke swapped his face,
He does have a beard.
it had his whole beard show up.
Oh,
It did change his hair
that's stupid.
because he's got the Jesus hair, but it made the hair look more like
you
Michael
mean-
Scott's hair.
I think you mean when Joe did it.
Yeah, Joe. When Joe did it.
Yeah. There you go, mixing up people's names again. Anyways,
Shoot. But anyway, yes, Kevin is my long lost father.
yeah.
And not the actor, legit Kevin. Like he is who I
He
strive to
came
be
out
with
of the screen, impregnated my mom long before the show came out.
I want so there's this guy that's going around that wants Dr. Phil to adopt him, be his grandpa or whatever.
Why?
Just because he likes Dr. Phil.
That's stupid.
I want Kevin Malone to come out of the TV screen and adopt me as their biological child.
Can we take a second to talk about how dumb Dr. Phil is?
He's not even a doctor.
He's not a doctor. He's balding with a mustache. First off, every man or human or animal, if you are losing your hair, take it all away. Don't do a stupid little ring.
They have to have what they have left. That made a lot of sense.
They have to have it. That's what they have left.
Listen,
No,
most people
no.
are afraid to go totally bald.
I know, because they're dumb. Nobody looks good with balding hairstyle. There's like 3 people. Bruce Willis, he looked fine.
He's officially bald though.
Yeah, but he kept the little ring, but it was like stubbly ring. The guy from Frasier, Bulldog.
Bruce Willis never kept a ring on his head.
Yes, he did. He 100% did.
He was fully bald. In Die Hard, he
In
had the
certain
military
movies.
and then he went totally
Pull up
bald.
some pictures of Bruce Willis.
The bald
Nope. Pull up
Bruce
some-
Willis did not have the Kevin Malone look.
No, not full length. Here, take a look at some of these pictures. Now you gotta go to some older ones because he did go fully
See, look,
bald.
there's his with the receding hairline.
He did go fully bald, but he's had many hairstyles. Yeah,
I guess it's tough, but it's hard to tell because it's white.
yeah.
But it's hard to tell because it's white.
Yeah,
It
but
just
that's
blends
what
in
he
with
do,
his
dog.
skin. But it looks good.
Exactly.
That is
He's
a darn
one of
good
the
looking man.
He's one of the few people. Well, there's not. She's too pretty.
And listen, Jason Statham, he's kind of got
Exactly.
the same thing going.
Exactly.
But he pulls it off.
So few people can, but not long.
Kevin Malone pulls it off.
Sure. Anyways, Dr. Phil sucks.
What has this man ever done? Okay,
When you have, I can't even do a Dr. Phil voice.
So you blame the man for not being a doctor, fine. But is Judge Judy an actual judge?
No, and Bill and I is not an actual scientist. They're all TV people.
Bill and I.
The science guy.
I'm going to absolutely fact check you on that.
Go for it. He's an engineer.
It's just he is an engineer. He has a
He
degree
has
in engineering.
no degree in science whatsoever. He was an actor. He was an engineer who decided to become an actor. They said, "Hey, you can do a science show." He said, "Okay."
Judge Judy isn't a judge?
Oh, and
She
you can
is
fact check.
actually.
You can fact check him on that one.
Yeah, I don't know if Judge Judy. Well, I asked.
I think those are actually court rulings.
I asked it as a question. I said, is Judge Judy an actual judge? And you said no.
Oh, okay. Fact check me. That's fine. But fine. Put it on me. You're the one who said it. I just agree with you because
Well, I
we're
was asking
bros.
the question. I just thought you agreed with me. I was like, okay, I'll take it.
I was just trying to be your friend.
Okay, so you don't like Dr. Phil, which
No.
is fine.
No.
Most people don't,
Well,
but he's made a lot of people famous
yeah.
because of their stupidity.
You know who I like?
So maybe we just need to go on Dr. Phil so he could tell us what's wrong with our relationship.
Yeah, but then one
So
of us
we
has
could
to go
become
trans or something, or we have to assume that we're like possessed by the spirit of a dead person. That's the only 2 types of episodes I've ever seen on Dr. Phil.
Listen, Bad Baby
You
went on
haven't
there
heard-
and literally
It's true.
just said, catch me outside, how about that? And she immediately became famous.
She does make millions a month.
and
But
now,
that's through nudes.
And now she's somehow making music.
Dude, you and I would make like $1,000 a month for our nudes.
I don't take nudes, so
well,
I don't know what that's
then
like.
I only get to make 500
Why are we doing
because
these?
that's Bad
You don't
Baby
take
to
nudes.
make money.
You don't take nudes.
I don't take nudes, but I'm just saying that's
In a
how,
hypothetical world,
that's where I live.
I
Where do you think I've been this whole time?
Daniel,
We're not on
Daniel.
Dr. Phil. Yeah.
we should ask Dr. Phil to come in so you can voice your frustrations.
Dr. Phil, when are you going to go back to college and become an actual doctor?
Listen, I know a guy
Well, me too.
that wants to be adopted by him as his grandson.
What
I don't actually know him.
what words did you
I'm
just say? You know a guy who wants to be adopted by Metzakritcha?
No, adopted by him to be his grandson.
Oh. That's
You know who Ryan Trahan is?
Nope.
You don't know
You
who
mean
Ryan
Joe?
Trahan is? Ryan Trahan. He's a YouTuber.
Okay.
He did the get a penny to Mr. Beast in like 30 days or something like that, 1 month.
No.
Really?
I
You should look
12?
up his videos. Huh?
No.
They're like the most popular videos on YouTube at the time.
Bruh.
Bruh.
I go against the norm.
Oh my gosh. He
All
did
right.
too.
Well, but then he became the norm. I'm not about that life.
Whatever. Anyway, he wants to pull your mic back. No one's gonna be able to hear you. Actually, pull it away from you. It's better that way.
Shut up. Anyways, you're saying?
Anyway, he made a petition and he reached out to Dr. Phil's people and he got a face-to-face sit down with Dr. Phil. And he literally asked Dr. Phil, will you adopt me to be my grandpa?
Well, that's not how adoption works.
Well, I know. I've been through the adoption
That
process.
means
I know
like,
it doesn't work that way.
That means he wants Dr. Phil's kids, one of them, to adopt him.
Okay, it's just
No.
a
We're
joke.
getting
You're
real literal now.
digesting
We're
this
getting
too much.
real literal because screw Dr. Phil and anybody who loves him. Why? What? Do you think you're in a different room? You're 5 feet away.
I can't.
She's back there saying we're gonna have to cut that part out. I have
She said.
I have my opinions, and that's all that
She
matters.
said, "Did you can hear me?" All right, Dan. So
Anyways,
moving on from let's move on. We've so far we've just caused a train wreck.
okay.
We've angered a lot of people by saying we don't like Dr. Phil.
I just wanna
'cause
point
he's
out-
an online phenomenon.
Okay, I want to point out that you spoke long enough for 3 sentences, but got out 1.
Listen, Dan.
All right.
We are going to move on
Yep.
from Dr. Phil
Okay.
because we don't want to anger more people. He's an online phenomenon.
He's not online. He's a cable phenomenon.
He's
He-
an actual
he-
person. He's not just a phenomenon.
I don't even have to go to a Thriller ride to be made fun of.
That's right.
He is on the YouTubes now.
Is he?
Very active on the YouTubes. He talks to YouTube quite often.
Oh.
We don't want to upset more people. Is that okay? Can we move on from that?
We're not. I want to make a statement. And by the way, you can get used to these kind of statements on this podcast. Because I make these kind of statements about a lot of different things. 'Cause I have a lot of strong opinions. What?
Oh, dot.
No, not today. Not today.
Wait,
But-
what's ODOT?
Shut up. Anyways, if you are a fan of Dr. Phil, go get your IQ checked.
Oh my gosh.
Because you might have to go back to kindergarten. and start back over. All right. Anyways, we're not cutting it. I do the editing, so suck it, world.
This is all fun stuff.
Yeah.
Listen, if it's not a train wreck, it's not really a podcast.
Got a question.
I might have an answer for you, but I have a topic I want to go on to. But ask
Okay.
your
Well,
question.
my question is a topic, but it's short, maybe, depending on how long we talk about it. How many secret bunkers do you think that each individual person on average walks over? Like underground bunkers, right? Government or personal.
Government? Okay.
Yeah. Government or personal. How many secret bunkers do you think on average a human walks over in their lifetime? I think it's more than one and less than 5.
In their lifetime.
Yep.
That's a small number. I was not expecting that. So you're saying if an individual lives till they're 95,
Yeah.
they'll walk over only 5.
At most.
But what if they walk over them intentionally?
Well,
Or are you
that's
saying
not a
they are-
secret then.
So you're saying
I'm
just
saying they
hidden.
don't know it's there and they're walking on top of a secret bunker.
I
or
say
past.
you hit the ballpark. I would probably take it up to 10,
Wow.
just because there was a lot of things that were built, like especially over in Europe. Just
I'm
think
talking
of-
about active though.
Oh, like they're still in use?
Yeah, like people put them in the ground for their own personal use because they're like doomsday preppers, or they're actual government facilities, or enemy forces, like Stranger Things.
Well, if you go,
Which, by the way, most ridiculous plot is that the Russians came to America, dug 5,000 feet under the ground, and then put tunnels throughout the entire town without anybody knowing it.
well, I mean,
So they have less technology.
the whole plot of Red Dawn with
That's true.
Koreans just parachuting into the United States is also fake. Like, that's very unlikely for that to happen as well.
It's true. Anyways,
But I don't know, because if you think about Washington, or around
the man or the city or the state.
you know exactly what I'm talking about. Washington D.C.
Okay.
So if you think about that area, and then anywhere where there is a government facility, think of how many people, especially in the D.C. area, that just walk around, like, on average. There's probably
Yeah.
millions of people. So, there's probably more than one underground facility in D.C.
Pull up for me the Denver Airport Illuminati. Just type that in. So it got me thinking what you said about DC. Here in Little Detroit, one time I went to the downtown library, and I always used to carry a knife on like the outside of me, like it was a holstered gun, because it was something I used for work and it was intimidating. It was, just something that was there. So I had gone to the library with a buddy, and we're sitting in the lobby talking as we're getting ready to go. And all of a sudden a cop walks up, taps me on the shoulder, and I turn around, I'm like, yeah? He's like, what's that? I'm like, my knife? He's like, oh. He's like, you're not going to lie to me? I'm like, why would I lie to you about that? Like, is it illegal? He's like, kind of. The National Security Office is right here. In Little Detroit, we have our National Security Office in the library. And I was standing maybe 5 feet away. It was just a brown door. And he's like, I think there was a small little placard that said National Security Office.
Really?
Yeah. And so the guy was about to arrest me, but because of the fact that I was just honest with him and like wasn't trying to hide it or like get mean, he just let me go.
But there wasn't a sign like the library door or anything that said no.
I'm sure there
knives?
was, but we came up through the basement because you had to park underneath. And I probably walked past signs that said that, but who reads signs? I'm dyslexic. I don't read things. Anyways, so this is the Denver airport. There is creepy things everywhere. And people believe that they straight up, like not the Illuminati, New World Order. They believe the New World Order operates out of the Denver airport.
Still
Still.
Well, so my dad used to work at the it's a very popular museum, so I'm just gonna say the Wright-Patterson Air Force Base.
Okay.
So my dad used to work there. It's in Dayton, Ohio,
Mm-hmm.
and it's believed that the aliens are kept there.
Sure.
And so it has those same like underground like tunnels and walkways and bunkers and stuff like that. And so people all the time, ghost hunters actually went out there and like did like a ghost investigation of the whole premise and stuff like that to see if they can catch any ghosts.
Yeah,
But
nothing.
nothing.
That'd be interesting.
Hmm.
What about ghosts of aliens?
I almost said, do ghosts have souls? do aliens have souls?
Why wouldn't they? Unless they're a robotic species.
That's fair.
But the robotic species would have been created by some type of living organism that you would assume have a soul.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I've never seen aliens, so I can't tell you. I've also never killed an alien, so I don't know if their soul comes back.
We should. All right, next episode, we're gonna go to Roswell, New Mexico.
Oh yeah, next episode. Our first on location.
By then, we'll clearly have at least 5 subscribers. So
We'll just hitchhike all the way there.
yeah. We're gonna go to Roswell, New Mexico, and we are gonna take all the top-notch ghost hunting gear, and we're gonna go where the crash site was, right? And we're gonna do a scan for alien ghosts. Okay, don't react.
Yeah, I'm just. You don't think that the government had covered those up too?
How's? Well, I'm sorry. Well, okay, I was gonna say.
Do you not think the Ghostbusters actually exist? Like, there's no way that Hollywood could just come up with a thought like that.
If ghosts are real, and I say if, the government for sure has a secret organization to deal with them.
Are you kidding me? It's probably like a VR headset that they can literally see the ghosts walking around. No, like those
Maybe.
goggles, like X-ray vision or the heat,
Yeah,
the
maybe.
thermal vision. Well, you just see ghosts walking around, probably.
Maybe. Man, now I really just want to know if there's a government organization for dealing with ghosts.
Probably. It's probably called Ghost.
The Ghost Recon?
No, that's a military outfit made by Ubi Booby Soft.
What if that's real and that's what they do? They reconnaissance against ghosts.
Well,
I
they're created
almost
by,
didn't get those words out, but I actually
They're
did.
created by Ubi Booby Soft, so I'm sure they're not very good.
That's true. We know they work about half the time.
So, I would say you're probably hit the mark. 1 to 5. I'd probably go up to 10. Just like between 1 and 10.
Depending on how active of a lifestyle you live.
There's a lot of active people out there, though.
Yeah.
Lots of people.
Well, I used to, so one of my jobs, I would go to basically every single house in the entire township I lived in, and then a different township. And so there's a pretty significant chance that I walked over past a secret bunker of at least a personal person. So, you know, my numbers may be a little bit higher. I travel a lot for work. So I'm not counting driving, over something.
No, you mean physically walking over.
Yeah,
And
like
for
you're
you,
walking
you were
down the
inspecting the
sidewalk.
property, so yeah, you probably walked over tons.
Oh, yeah. Oh, dude, I went to this one property. I could still take you to the place. So the guy,
Please don't. We might get arrested.
the guy's name, like on the property sheet, was Dan Smith. Dude opened the door, 100% a Chinese guy. All right. And when I say 100%, I mean barely spoke English. When I say barely, I mean, hello. No. And then I'm like, I have to go around your property. Hello. And that was it, right? So I'm walking past the pole barn he has in the back, and I hear voices. And I mean like 10 to 15 voices.
You're going to have the cops show up to this guy's house.
Yep.
You're just going to look up the name.
No, seriously. 10 to 15 Asian voices talking. And I'm thinking, it might be a TV show or something. This guy's clearly Asian. Maybe there's his wife's back here working on something. Knock on the door. Oh, I hear, shh. Dead silence. I'm like, oh, that's a sweatshop in my town. I didn't do anything about it.
Oh my gosh.
Well, there was people back. I mean, they were probably illegal immigrants and seeking asylum from this guy. But they bought the house. I hope he bought the house. Hopefully it's not like Yakuza and he went and just murdered the family and took it over. Because it was like Dan Smith was like the name on the...
That's a very strange name.
It was a very basic white name for a very Chinese guy. So it wouldn't be Yakuza if it was Chinese.
Yeah, I was about to say, you had that little mixed up there, buddy.
Yakuza.
Yakuza.
It was the jacuzzis.
All right, so, I mean, for as many houses, especially for you, as many houses you visited over the years, I can't say I get out and just go knock on people's doors, though, but I never did that for work. So I'd imagine you've probably stepped on a lot of things. Probably some missile silos.
That'd be weird.
Probably some.
I would guess that by the end of my life, I will have walked over. I'm going to put myself higher. I'm going to put myself a little bit higher. So when I'm dead and gone, 15. What do y'all think?
I'll put that on your tombstone.
Walked
over 15
Walk near
secret
15
bunkers.
secret bunkers.
He really achieved
I
a lot.
feel like
in
a
life.
lot of it might have to do with the location in which you live.
That's true.
Yeah.
Like
That's
if you're
fair.
more on the East Coast, you're probably not going to go over as many. But
That's
if you're
right.
farther out, like the more rural Midwest, out
Yeah,
west,
for
Fair.
sure.
you're going to run into way more.
Well,
If you live in Germany, you're probably at like 50.
Well, let's think
by
of
the
it this
time
way.
you're
If you
5.
go to Kansas alone, I mean, they're tornado central. So they probably have a bunch of just even tornado shelters that
Yeah, but
people
those
don't
aren't
know
secret.
about. Not all of them are in the middle of the yard, Dan. They could be some in the basement somewhere.
Yeah, but see, that is somebody's house. And so a secret bunker, when you build a secret bunker, you don't tell the government. When you build a tornado shelter, usually you get permits and you do that. You're not like, screw the government, right? I'm talking about the government doesn't know they're there or the government controls them. Yes?
Oh, but what about all the bunkers from the Prohibition back with alcohol? There's probably a ton
Well, so,
that still are existing.
Right.
And they're bunkers that you're describing.
yeah. So if we include inactive, I would say
Well, 'cause I was thinking
double
about-
to triple.
Well, yeah,
whatever
because
the
I was thinking
number is.
about Germany. I mean, you know how many bunkers were built during the World War II that
Yeah.
nobody probably even realized are still there?
Yeah.
I mean, there's still bunkers to this day that are being uncovered.
So, in a town nearby, there was a secret bunker that was built by the water department. Believe it or not, very strange. And they built it on a residential property. They covered it was a manhole that you went down. You went down a ladder, and then they were just selling it as a residential property, like
The
Hey.
bunker or the property?
the property and the bunker. Like they advertised the bunker as like you can convert this into a house. And I'm like, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of want to do it, but I don't want to have to climb a
Was
ladder.
this recently?
Yeah. I couldn't tell you where it is.
Well, I know, but I'm just saying it's just recently.
Yeah. Yeah, they said it was like
That's weird, 'cause
1,500 square feet under
They're
the ground.
preparing for something we don't know.
Right, the water department of all. Well, again, whoever was selling it said water department. It could have been like the FBI was selling. But why?
Oh, the water department wasn't selling it.
No, it was owned by somebody else, and they described it as a water department secret bunker, which again makes no sense. I wanted to go so bad.
That's weird. Okay, so Daniel,
Yeah.
Danger Toast.
Yep.
That's our podcast.
Yep.
Thank you for. You are so just full of energy when I talk to you.
Sure am.
I just bumped my mic. I'm so sorry. Anyway, so we got to talk about
it
how we
too.
came up with this name.
Okay.
So I wasn't involved with this. So just a little backstory. Podcast for us has been on our mind for quite a few years.
Mm-hmm.
We have attempted it before, failed miserably because we never actually released an episode.
We attempted it once with Joe.
Well, we recorded 2 episodes back to back,
right.
and none of them ever came out.
Did we not record 2 episodes?
Well, okay.
We recorded. Okay.
We recorded the first episode 3 times.
Right, because the first time we recorded it, I got really inappropriate in like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
The second time something, and then third time
And
nothing.
this is back in the day where podcasts weren't really popular.
No, they weren't.
Podcast has definitely become popular more now.
Yeah.
But we always wanted to do a podcast because we're both gamers.
Yep.
To an extent. So it's gonna be a solid gaming.
What? To an extent.
Okay, we're both gamers. Anyway, but
Bless you.
But this is back. Shut up. But this is back. There was a sneeze off camera. I had to yell at her. I always do for some reason. They're gonna think I'm so mean to her.
You are, but go on.
But she's mean to me. But this was back in the day when we used our gamer tags. We didn't use our names. We were just
We did.
sitting.
We were
just
very
sitting
nerdy.
in Joe's spare bedroom in a circle around this towered mic. It was just one microphone.
It was just
We couldn't even
a
fit.
blue Yeti. That was it.
We couldn't even fit in the room. We were just trying to fit. I was in the door frame of the room when we were doing it.
Yeah, that
So-
room was probably. This is not even that big of a room. That room was maybe at most 40% the size of this
Yeah.
room.
So we've always wanted to do a podcast. It's always been in our minds. And like I said, this has been years in the making. So a few years ago, we used to hang out a little more. That's when we did the podcast. We stopped doing the podcast. Or we didn't even start, really. it never got edited or pushed out because it was so bad because we had no idea what we were doing. I mean, we used our gamer tags for Xbox, for crying out loud.
Yep. As our names.
Yeah. Introduce yourself. I think it was, I can say because it's not my gamer tag anymore. I'm Rebel Chaos. It just sounds so dorky.
What was mine? Mine was
It was Ninja something. It was
Destroying Ninja.
Destroying Ninja, yeah.
Yep.
It was the dumbest thing ever. It was so bad.
Hey, first off, my buddy, his name was Searching Ninja because we played Search and Destroy on Call of Duty. Thus, he was Searching Ninja. I was Destroying Ninja because he's a lot stealthier than I am, and I'm a lot more gung-ho than
You're
he is.
reckless.
I'm very reckless, but I'm very
You're very
good.
reckless. That's why
Very,
you're
very
on the
good,
danger
like Trump.
side. You're the D in danger. So, you know, we didn't hang out as much.
Yeah,
And, but we did YouTube videos.
we did.
So after that, we started off on YouTube. You're still doing the YouTube thing a little bit.
I've taken a break to get this all set up.
Yeah, so now you have this space, or we have this space, you probably plan on doing more YouTube videos, probably
Correct.
with my face showing up a little more too,
True.
for different things. So we had a few things that really took off that were really funny.
Yeah.
And we still never did the podcast. I stepped away from the YouTube scene because I was getting married and everything else. So you still continued it without me, without my beautiful face,
That's right.
and it still worked out for you, pretty nice. So I just reached out to you one day. We hadn't been talking in a while. I mean,
It's true. I think the first thing you said to me before we had even started talking again, the first thing you said was, "Hey, you want to do a podcast?"
it sounds like we broke up, and then like
You always talk about us like we break up and get back together.
I know.
First off, you dumped me for Ronnie, so don't even start.
no, I dumped you for Joe. Shush.
That's right, for Joe.
Anyway, you just got so mad.
Because you dumped me for Ronnie, Joni.
Anyway, so the first thing I asked you was like, listen, I've been talking to my wife about this because I was going to do my own podcast,
Yeah.
but I'm not as entertaining by myself. So
Nobody is.
And every time that we hang out or talk to each other, I laugh cry the whole time. So I can't stop myself.
Normally it's
So-
because I punch him in the nuts.
So I reached
but-
out to you. I said, let's do a podcast. So obviously you did all the work for this because you already do YouTube. And so
Yeah.
you kind of had an idea what you wanted to do.
I've had-
I just
I
gave
have
you the
experience.
idea. You're the manpower behind all of this. I kind of just tagging along at this stage of the game. So when thinking of a podcast name, you know, you want to be creative. And
Yeah.
a skit that we used to do was Two Morons. So we
Yep.
were like, oh, yeah, perfect. Two Morons. Already taken.
Dude, there is so many two moron.
Yeah,
podcasts.
well, there's a lot of morons in the world.
There's a lot of morons, and there's a lot of morons who become friends, just like us.
So we did there's a video on YouTube. You can probably find it.
Couple
It's
of them.
called Two Morons Food Reviews. Super funny. One of our popular videos on that channel, on Daniel's channel.
Wow.
I had a stroke. So we, so that was gonna be our podcast name. Well, Dan shoots me a text one day. He goes, "Hey, I have an idea." He's like, "What do you think about Danger Toast?" I'm like, "Kind of has a ring to it." I said, "D for danger, T for toes." It's Tyler and Dan and Tyler. I just asked you. You didn't give me detail. You just said Danger Toast.
You missed one point.
And then I asked you. I said,
Yeah, you missed the point.
You missed a huge step in there.
"What'd I miss?"
What was the podcast supposed to be? But it was too long.
Oh,
Put that on a t-shirt.
Put that on a t-shirt. Yeah, I forgot about that already.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was gonna be put that on a t-shirt, but
Which is
it was
still a
just-
good name.
it
but
is. You can have it if you like it, but it was
No, they
very
can't.
long. It was
Still
very
mine.
it was very hard to design and
Yeah.
figure out because it would have just been a blank white t-shirt that said
Right.
put it on a t-shirt. It's not very marketable. So
No.
anyway, I just texted you. I said because you didn't give me details. You just said how about Danger Toast? I'm like where. I was like, what is this man, like, where is he coming up with this? So I just shot you a text, because you gave me no detail, again, like I said 100 times. I said, Dan,
Yeah.
why Danger Toast?
Know the conversation we had at the restaurant?
No, I mean, I told him eventually.
Oh, okay.
It
Yeah,
was a
after
while.
I asked.
Yeah. It wasn't even the first time
So-
you asked
so
either.
Dan, I'm gonna
I
ask
think
again.
the first time you asked, I said we were eating.
Yeah. So,
and that was it.
so I'm going to ask again on podcast,
Yeah.
why Danger Toast?
Okay. So Erica, you can take this one because
It's your story.
it's your story.
Oh, I did actually technically say Danger Toast.
No, it was me.
No,
who
it was
said
you. It was you.
But
She already taken credit.
yeah, she's already taken credit.
But I instantly corrected myself. Anyways.
Get her.
But we.
I think I've already offended her once today. I'm trying to lay off a little bit.
I don't get easily offended.
Okay.
We were eating breakfast, and I forget what topic came up with cereal.
Yeah.
It was cereal came up, and I was like, oh, because they had something Captain Crunch flavored or something.
You're already telling the story wrong.
I am?
Yep. We've had the conversation about Captain Crunch cutting the roof of your mouth because it cuts everybody's mouth.
Yeah, I thought
Yeah,
that's how
every
we
time.
brought up
We've had that
Every time.
conversation a lot. I offered you a bite of my sandwich,
Oh, that's right. That's right.
and she responded with like, "I don't feel like bleeding." And
Wait,
I'm like,
okay, I didn't hear this part of the story.
I remember this
Wait
now.
a second. She said, I don't
she's
feel like
no
bleeding.
thanks. Yeah, she's like, no thanks. I don't feel like getting hurt right now. I'm like, from biting my sandwich, in which she responded,
That it's all crusty and it hurts my mouth. It's dangerous.
every time she eats
Yeah.
toast, it cuts the roof of her mouth. Now,
It cuts your roof of your mouth to that point?
It cuts my gums all around my teeth
To the
and
point
like
where
the
you
roof
bleed?
of my mouth. Oh yeah, I have gingivitis.
Really?
Bad boy. And so I don't like toast. I don't like sandwiches that the bread's toasted. I don't like grilled
Otherwise
cheese
it is
is all
toast.
right. Grilled
So,
cheese is
let
all
me
right.
ask you this. If I were to toast bread, if I made it soggy for you, would you eat it?
If you made me a what?
If I made it wet for you, would you eat it?
a nice wet piece of toast.
Yeah.
toast.
Just wet
It
toast.
has to be that crunchy bread because I can't eat Captain Crunch. I can't eat.
But she
anything
likes
like
buttered
That.
toast.
Have you really seen me eat that much buttered toast?
Yeah, when you put butter and then cinnamon
but the butter
sugar on it.
softens it enough.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, keep in mind, this is the same girl who's like, I don't eat ice cream in cones. I'm like, why? She's like, it cuts the sides of my mouth.
It does.
Gets
It's a dangerous
so,
snack.
She gets so into eating the ice cream because she loves ice cream, but she gets so into eating the ice cream that she just basically grinds it on her face.
Dude, oh my god.
No, I
Come
cut
for her like that.
Thank you.
That must
I
be-
bite the bottom off and I suck it out the back. What you talking about?
Listen,
That's the most sexual thing I've ever heard. That's not sexual in the
I know.
slightest.
So that must be a girl thing. Because when my wife gets ice cream, oh my gosh, when my wife gets ice cream, she'll literally suck this thing dry,
Yeah.
and then just go cone first into her pie hole.
Well, let me say. Let me say, I do the same. Okay, when I get a drumstick, all right, I bite, lick, all that good stuff.
Listen, these audio listeners are going to be very concerned with what you're saying. and doing.
So I put my tongue in there, spin it, so I get how you cut your mouth. I get it. I just have never cut myself eating ice cream.
I have not
Believe
either.
it or not,
Honestly,
I've never done it.
I do it so passionately. Don't come at me.
I have never cut myself with toast ever. I have with
Me either.
Captain Crunch.
Yeah, Captain Crunch.
It's
was
sharp.
made
Are
by
you?
the Russians.
You're seriously blowing my mind. You have never had like, okay, let's say a BLT that has that toasted bread cut in half, so that raw toasted bread's raw right there and crunchy, and you take a bite. It does not cut your mouth up.
No, I haven't.
What
Honestly,
world do
well,
I live
also,
in?
I don't eat BLT because I don't like tomatoes.
But that's
so-
that's what I'm talking about. Like that type of sandwich.
Yeah, I know. No, I knew what you're talking about. No, I don't.
No,
I've
no.
I
never.
can't.
It's never. No.
Rachel.
Yes.
It happens to you.
Yes.
See, one of the biggest differences between men and women, one of them is the rigidity of our mouths.
We have strong.
We have
inner
stronger
mouths.
mouth skin.
We have to go through a lot with our mouths too. So don't again come at us.
Wait, what? Wait, what? I'm so confused. Anyway, so
I don't even know what I should be threatened by right now, but I feel threatened.
it felt like a threat. I'm like, I don't know what that's.
We do things.
I'll
Our
watch
mouths go through stuff.
Our mouth.
She just snorted.
I'll watch
That
my.
mic better have been unmuted for that snort.
I watched.
Dang it.
I'll watch my back. I'll watch my back
that's
when we
right.
leave today. So
We'll link arms.
that's
and
how
walk
Danger
back
Toast
to
came
a
by.
back.
Is she got scared of cutting her mouth with toast.
Yeah, she was scared of cutting her mouth by eating a sandwich.
So this is always going to
And
be
I
a
just
living
instantly
memory
said
for
danger
her.
toast.
This is always going to be a living memory for her that toast is dangerous.
Yeah.
So you are personally wounded by this.
Yeah, and it's ruined a lot of sandwich experiences for me because I really love sandwiches, man. But and most restaurants, when you order like a turkey club or a BLT or any type of sandwich, that bread is the thing, not a bun, always comes out flippin' toasted.
You want to know something crazy?
What?
When you order things, you can be like, hey,
Can I not have it
don't
toasted?
toast the bread.
Or you want to know a crazy thing?
What?
I just don't order a sandwich.
But what if you are having a hankering for a sandwich?
Wait. I have a question. So most restaurants toast the buns for burgers.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's different.
Does that hurt?
No, because it's round and soft.
Okay, so the top part's soft, the bottom
Just like me.
part's
Yeah,
crusty.
but
You're
with
okay.
with bread, it
Nobody
toasts
heard
the
that.
bottom and the top, and it's
Right.
just
Okay.
too hard and too
Honestly,
painful, and I just can't.
Honestly, I don't know if I've ever cut the roof of my mouth with anything other than Captain Crunch.
Yeah.
And the one time I bit into a sandwich, you know those little plastic swords that are in them?
Toothpicks and stuff.
Yeah, that's.
I've done that.
Yeah, that's hurt.
But
Especially,
what? Oh, sorry.
No, good.
What happens to your mouth with Captain Crunch is exactly what happens with my mouth with toast.
Oh.
It's the exact same cutting by your teeth and your top of your mouth, and it just hurts. But also, I don't have a normal mouth because anytime I don't eat anything or have any type of, I don't know, taste in my mouth for a while, I eat something, it lights up my mouth, and I have to like hold on to something.
True. This woman experiences life so much different than the rest of us.
Is it like
All right?
constantly being on LSD?
Kind of. Because she'll literally
Or
take a
shrooms?
bite or sip a drink and be like, oops, my mouth's all lit up. I'm like,
What?
what? So she'd be like, I can't. I'm
Open your mouth. Let me see Christmas lights.
Yeah, like that's how she
Twinkle,
describes
twinkle.
so many things. She's like, oh, I can't eat that. That lights my mouth up. I'm like, you talk about it like a gang's driving by and shooting up your mouth.
Please tell them about your Pop Rocks idea.
Oh, yeah.
That's what it feels like. It's Pop Rocks.
Oh no. So what she's talking about is Breaking Bad,
Yeah,
and you know the
I've heard of
drug. You know the drug, the blue like.
correct.
So I've come up with the greatest drug ever. So bath salts are legal now because people eat people. People started eating faces
Well, real quick,
with bath salt. Yes.
bath salts and bath salts are two different things. There's bath salts, the drug.
Correct.
That's not the same stuff you put in your bath.
Correct. I do know this.
So yes, bath salts have always been illegal.
So listen.
Not illegal now because somebody got
okay, I get
eaten.
what you're saying. I'm sorry. I did misspeak. Or misspoke. So here's the thing. You label bath salts, like the actual bath salts you put in your bathtub.
Yeah.
You label them as the drug bath salts. This is also get really legal, and I might get myself in trouble. Anyway, you mix it with Pop Rocks,
Okay.
and then you ingest it. You have the wildest experience of your life.
Have you done this?
I cannot confirm on podcast if I've done this or not. No, I've not actually done this. But now that I'm thinking about it, I guess I haven't really refined this whole idea. You've pointed out a very good flaw in my design that I always mix up the two bath salts. So my wife called me out to embarrass me, basically. So yeah. But listen, so my whole idea
wait.
is if you combine bath salts with any type of drug that you have to ingest through
Are you
your
talking
mouth.
about real bath salts or fake bath salts or drug bath salts?
Did I say bath salts again?
Yeah.
I meant
Pop Rocks?
Pop Rocks, yeah.
Okay.
So if you put bath salts,
You.
I said it again. So if you say Pop Rock with any type of drug that you have to ingest, your experience will be so much more heightened.
Oh, I'm totally down for mixing some Pop Rocks with cocaine. Let's try that one out. Right up the
You're
nose.
just gonna get cocaine?
Right up the nose.
I think he meant with like your nighttime medicine.
Are you talking about?
Like you're gonna take your pill with some Pop Rocks and swallow it.
No, I'm talking hard drugs.
Oh, you're
Like,
talking hard
yeah.
drugs? Oh, I'm
Honey,
sorry,
you've
I'm
signed some
PG.
paperwork against
Yeah,
that.
very
Yes, I know. So I forgot that I've signed that paper. So anyway, long story short, my wife called me out for no reason. But add Pop Rocks to any kind of thing to make your experience more better.
Okay, drugs are a thing. But real quick,
Don't do drugs, kids. Dare. There's a thing called Dare program. It's still around. Get in touch with them. Trust me.
It's
You won't
actually
regret it.
Dare Week this week. I'm not even joking.
It's Dare Week this week.
well,
Yeah.
My
not
dare
when- not when
officer
they
had a
see this.
DUI and got arrested.
Okay, well,
Nice. Okay. Anyways, so what kind of psycho swallows Pop Rocks?
you never ingested Pop Rocks?
Rachel raised her hand.
Give that a try.
No,
gosh.
don't. You can't say that on the internet. That's got to be bleeped out because now you just endorsed it. They don't even know what you talked about. They have no idea what you said. It wasn't that bad. But
We
if
will
you-
not. We do
but
not
we will
condone the
get-
actions.
We will get shut down on episode 1 from
We do
that
not
one
condone.
statement.
We do not condone the actions of Erica. We're gonna leave it at that.
You can, hey.
All you said was no cursing. That was my
let me lay out some
Listen,
ground
the
rules.
use of drugs on the internet is highly bad.
But that wasn't even
He
drugs.
brought up
that
cocaine.
But
He
snorting-
brought up, what
that
do you
is
do with
true.
cocaine? You snort it.
Okay, hey.
You said you're going to
That
put
was
pop rocks in your cocaine.
That was the joke. Correct. Thank you for breaking down why it was funny.
That's why I said.
Okay, so you don't say it again because I have to bleep it again. So don't say it. Let me explain.
I'm gonna
what's-
get so much trouble for this podcast.
Let me explain what can and cannot be said. I can say, Tyler, have you smoked some crack today? And you can be like, nah, dog, or yeah, dog, and that's fine. We won't get shut down for that. But if I
Don't
say,
endorse snorting
and keep in mind, YouTube,
or shooting up drugs
shut
or
up.
vaping.
Shut up. Exactly.
Yeah.
You said to give it a try, which means that you're literally telling anybody who watches it to go harm themselves.
Okay, so
Yeah, no, you.
let's.
It's all right.
That's my re.
Hey, this is all staying in, by
That's
the way.
my
I'm
rewind
just gonna bleep the
sound.
one part.
That's my rewind sound.
It
Listen,
sounds like a
So-
gay Scooby Doo.
Roro Raggy.
Anyways,
So-
go on.
So, what do you mean by swallow pop rocks?
You put it in your mouth,
Correct.
and then it pops in your mouth.
Okay, you don't
And-
swallow while it's doing it.
No, you let
You
the
just leave it on your tongue.
yeah. You okay? You
But
don't.
what are you supposed to do with it when you're done?
You swallow it once it's done popping. When the chemical reaction ends, that's when you swallow. You only have.
But it never stops popping.
Yes, it does.
I've never experienced it.
Because
stop
you
popping.
swallow it before it's done.
Apparently, so is my wife.
Apparently, that's not how you do it.
You know the urban legend with Pepsi and Pop Rocks, anything carbonated?
Yeah.
And it just boils up your skin, or no, causes you to throw up. Is that what it is?
It's supposed to make your stomach explode.
Yeah, it doesn't actually happen. I tried it.
No, it doesn't. Which, by the way, weirdest way to try to self-delete.
Well, I wasn't.
I'm done with this
It was
world.
a dare. It was a dare. It was a dare to do it. I think it was a dare and dare class, actually. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
I can't
wow.
endorse that. No, I was just kidding. So yeah, so Danger Toes. We got really off topic.
Yep.
So that's how we now became Danger Toes, and
Yep.
then we thought about it afterwards of Danger Dan and then Toast Tyler.
Yeah. It's true.
Well,
I'm Danny Danger.
half of your name.
No, Dan. Half of the word danger.
So do you go by Dan or Daniel? I don't know these days, because most of your stuff is done with Daniel, but people still call you Dan.
Okay. So,
Did I just stump your brain or
well,
something?
kind of.
Is it that
'cause
hard of a question?
It is a hard question. So let me explain why. People who've known me for a long time or are adult-like people in my life, they call me Danny. But also, I decided to make my YouTube and my streaming name Danny Cervi. So, but I hate it when people call me Danny. Like, if you called me Danny, I'd probably kick you in the shin.
Really?
Yeah, or punch you in the shin because I'm that short. Anyways,
I used to call you Danny all the time.
yeah, I hate it. Don't. If she called me Danny, I would hate that even more. Don't ever call me Danny.
Yeah, Rachel. Don't ever call him Danny.
I've only ever known your mom to call you
Exactly.
Danny.
So my mom, his mom,
So I have a question.
different
Do you
older
kick-
people.
Do you kick your mom in the shins?
No, she's shorter than I am. So well, yeah. Anyways, so Dan is
Wait a second. What does having to kick your mom in the shin have
because
anything
I
to
made
do
the
with her
joke
being
of punching
shorter?
you in the shin because I'm short.
Oh, punching her. I said kick. And
Yeah.
you said no. She's shorter than me.
Shut up. Anyways, so yeah, I go by Dan mainly.
Okay.
It's funny because you do call me Daniel, and I'm okay with it. The only people I've ever known to call me Daniel were gay guys, though.
Okay.
And so
let me get you a little backstory.
I'm learning a lot.
yeah,
So we have a friend,
Okay.
a mutual friend.
Joe.
We have a lot of friends named Joe. This one has long hair and a beard
Okay,
and plays piano.
Yeah.
So
he calls me Daniel, but
So-
he sounds
right, but so for me, I always call him Joseph. So I use his full name,
yeah,
and that's just because I'm the only person that calls him that.
right.
Like his own wife has said I'm the only person that calls him that. And so for me, that's how I label my friends. Like that's personal to me. Like I call you Daniel,
Yeah.
and that's just because everybody calls you Dan. I want to be unique because I'm a
That's
true
fair.
friend of yours. So I want to call you Daniel.
And I'm okay with it. I don't know why.
And what Joseph said, he only gets called his full name when he's yelled at. I call him as a term of endearment. I yell at you all the time and call you Daniel.
That's
but
true.
I also talk to you just like Daniel too, just normal.
I mean,
Most of the
just
time,
like Joseph.
most of the time I just yell at you.
That's true. So yeah, call
So,
me.
yeah.
I mean, you can call me Daniel. You can call me Dan. Same with you. I'll call myself Big Kahuna.
Good night. Good
All
morning.
right, so are you gonna be? Do you go by just Tyler or Ty?
Always Tyler. I've never been called Ty my entire life.
Yes, you have. I call you Ty a
No,
lot.
no. You
I also
call
call
me
you
Ty
Ty-
Ty. You call me Ty Ty. That's a difference.
I also have called you Ty.
There's only been 2 people who have ever called me Ty Ty. And that
Me?
is you. Okay, I lied. There's 3 people. Is you,
Joe and Joe.
Joe and Joe. But the other 2 are girls.
Oh, just
So
Fiends.
you're the only one who called me Ty.
Gotcha.
But you call me Ty Ty. You change my name all the time. It's Ty Ty, the all-American guy, tall, angry ghost.
Ty, the All-American guy, and Tall Angry Ghost are 2 different names. Not
You've combined them all once before.
I tried, but it's very
difficult.
It doesn't work.
Yeah.
Ty, the tall, angry American ghost guy.
So yeah, Danger Toast again. I'm excited. It's gonna be a fun time.
Yeah.
It already has been fun,
Yep.
and you could tell this is Danny and I's relationship. I just called him Danny.
You've never really called me Danny before.
I know
and
you just mentioned it. Now I have to say it for some reason.
thanks.
So this is Daniel and I's relationship. This is who we are. We've always been this stupid and off track all the time. We go on these railroads, and if you were to take a map and put a bunch of railroads on it, and it would be our conversation,
true.
the tracks would just go in circles and run into each other, and just it'd be a whole mess. Nobody would hire us as an engineer.
It's true.
So,
I wouldn't hire me as an engineer no matter what.
I mean, I could drive a nail.
Actually, I would be a good engineer. I'm again Trump. Well, I just want to say, I have been asked by numerous people to start a podcast with them. The only person I've ever said yes to is you, because you and you're one of the only friends, if not the only friend. I first called you plural people. You're the only friend I think that we just have stupid conversations. We
All
can
the
also talk
time.
about serious stuff.
all the time.
But we just go derailed, stupid conversations all the time.
We have literally we'll have conversation. We work in the same building, so we'll always have conversations in the car going to lunch and stuff like that. And we always have to say, nope, we can't talk about that.
Yeah.
We have to save it for the podcast.
Yeah, we have a lot of things to talk about for the podcast. You never even got to the thing you wanted to bring up, right?
What do I want to bring up?
I don't know. Before when I brought up the bunker thing, said you had a conversation.
Yeah, it
you
was
wanted
the
to
Danger Toast, how it came
have.
up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that is going to be the end of.
That's
Wait,
that's
wait.
the one.
We went.
I
What?
thought we were doing snaps at the end.
We should, but this has already been pretty long. What's the recording time?
Well, we can wait till next time.
Yeah, let's do it next episode, next week.
Yep.
These guys just stay tuned. This will keep you drawn in. Anybody who knows what the game Snaps is. Not
I
wins.
don't, and it honestly makes me angry every time you guys play it.
So we're gonna try to teach Rachel and Tyler what Snaps is.
So yeah, we'll figure that out for next week.
Yeah, because this one's already running long for our
Yeah.
first episode. But
So I'm excited. It's gonna be fun. I'm excited to be hanging out with you again. It's been so long.
it's been so long. I
It's
mean,
not
we've
really. We've been working on this for like 2 months now.
Yeah, we've been working on this for really long. It's funny because my brain said that this was gonna go quicker,
Yeah.
but we basically turned a room that was desolate and destroyed into this beautiful studio.
Yeah. Took a long time.
Long time, money, and
I
effort.
give all the props to Dan. He just asked me a bunch of questions. I said, "Yeah, it looks good, brother."
Yep. That is 9 times out of 10 what would happen. Or he'd say sure or dope. That would be about
Dope.
it. In fact, you
The
responded.
text feed
You responded today with that.
with the logo that hasn't been released yet. Yeah.
Well, it's kind of been released.
Well, I'm okay.
As of
By the
recording this,
time
it is
a
our
big month.
logo on everything.
Right. So
Girls, do you have anything you want to add in? You want to say goodbye?
Goodbye.
Bay.
All right, but we would love to see you guys, or I guess we won't see you, but we would like to hear your feedback. And
For all the people watching on YouTube, hey, how's it going? You got to see me and Tyler. You don't get to see the ladies, not yet.
y'all are
Not
so
yet.
beautiful.
I winked again. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you hit subscribe. Make sure you click like, leave a comment, let us know how our first episode went. If
Hit
you're
that
listening,
notification bell.
do
They
that
gotta
too.
get notified.
That's right. We're going to be uploading once a week for the podcast, and then eventually we're going to be moving into vlogs and behind the scenes and skits outside of the actual podcast. So,
Yep.
stay tuned. Thank you for watching this first episode, and especially if you're watching all the way to this point, man, you're awesome. If you're listening, you're pretty cool too. Go check us out on YouTube, though, you lazy listener bum. But stay toasty, my friends.
Bye. Bye.
You talk.
Who? Me?
Yeah.
Bears beats Battlestar Galactica.
Bears beats and Battlestar Galactica. Oh yeah, we're perfect.
Listen, I just finished The Office for the very first time.
What?
For the first time.
Don't want him. Don't want him.
Yeah, you haven't even finished it either.
I haven't even finished it. Don't want him.
By the way, if you're gonna chime in, unmute your mic.
You want to know how many times I've seen The Office all the way through?
0.
0. You want to know how many times I've seen Friends all the way through?
1,000.
Easily.